Hello there. It is that wonderful time here on EBN TV where we discuss issues and matters that pertain to leadership. Remember, our rallying call here is transforming your world. And we are talking about leadership because we desire to see transformation in the kind of leadership that we have in our country, at national level, at county level, and at every institution and every church. Very, very important. I'm glad you are watching. Thank you for joining us here on EBN TV with this discussion. At the bottom of the screen, you will find a number where you can begin to share with us and send us your opinions, your ideas about the topics that we are discussing here on the Leadership Challenge Show. It's really a joy for me to have my friend and a great leader in this country, Pastor David Kamau, to help us in the discussion. Welcome, please. You can say hello to the viewers, and then we continue.
Hello, viewers. I am very happy to be with you today.
Yes. Thank you so much. Pastor David, you remember last time we were here discussing on styles of leadership,
yes,
especially hands-on and hands-off styles of leadership, and how they relate to transformational leadership.
Yes, yes.
We finished with 5 points. Do you still remember? So now I pray that you recap for us so that you bring my dear viewer here to speed, and then we can roll on.
So in terms of the transformation,
yes,
what we said is that, one, we need creativity.
We need creativity. The 5 points now, you've started with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need creativity.
Creativity.
Because without creativity,
yes,
there is no way you can be able to transform your world.
Okay.
Then number two.
So the creativity is being allowed by the hands-off type of leadership.
Correct. Yes.
Because the teams are able to think for themselves.
Correct.
Yes, thank you.
Then there is interactive.
Yes.
Whereby you are actually in the system and doing things with the people.
Yes.
And that's where we said some of the slogan that you find they are selling very much is like, yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Because it is something that is bringing the teamwork in motion. And therefore that one, we find it is more on the hands-on.
Yes.
Then we get to the visionary.
The visionary.
The visionary, again, it has to do with the people. And the leader must be able to see a vision.
Yes.
And the vision is as good as what you have taken to the people.
Yes.
Because the vision, if it is not really shared with the organization, what will remain, it is actually going to be locked in. And nobody will actually get to know whether you are getting to where you intended to be. And therefore, there is need for you and every organization. That where we said even in church, everywhere in the organization, so that we lead in the government, there must be structures. And there must be a vision and a vision. And that's where we challenge even like our church. And we ask, how many of our churches really have a vision
and a mission statement
for their organization?
And core values.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you see, when we are talking about this, this is generated by the people. And one of the things that we are saying, if you want your vision and your mission to be bought in by the people that you lead, you must involve them in your vision and your missions. Because in the vision, we will be able to see several years to come, where do we want to be? Then number two, in terms of the mission, we will be seeing, for us to get there, what do we need to do?
Yes.
And it goes down even in terms of values. Because some of the organizations, they don't have values. And that's why you are finding, even in our government of Kenya, there are acts like integrity. It is a big value. And some of these things, commitment, and all those are good values. And that's why we are saying, you must share your values, your mission, and your vision with the people that you lead. And that tells you that you are involving people. Because you cannot be able to handle the mission and the visions alone.
Yeah.
And therefore, it is very important to involve people. So you are fighting.
It's also dangerous to operate without core values.
Core values. Why do you think that our country is actually having a big problem?
With corruption.
With corruption.
Because there are no values.
They have no values.
Yes.
No integrity.
Yeah.
And you find that when you don't have the values
that are driving the people,
that is driving the leadership.
Yes.
You find that even the people will be doing the wrong thing and they have no feelings about it. They have no feelings about it.
And that is happening so much in our country.
It is happening. And therefore that is why we have said a vision, a visionary leader is actually a transformative leader.
Yes.
He will be able to transform. In terms of the value for the people, in terms of how they do their work, and in terms of getting to the results.
Yeah.
And those are the structures that we are saying are visionary. So you find that there, a hands-on leader is quite involved because he is transmitting everything to the people.
Yes.
The other issue is what we said about empowerment.
Empowerment.
And we say that if you do not empower people, you are already lost. That's where we said the succession planning is very important. What does that tell you? Actually, you are empowering people to take over from you. And I said, it is a tragedy if, for example, you are in organization and you cannot take a break. If you are actually going to be in organizations from the first day of the year to the end day of the year, you are doing too poorly as a leader. You are supposed to be able to go and sleep at times.
Because you have empowered people.
Because you have empowered people.
Yes.
You are supposed sometimes to go and play golf. If you want to pray golf, go and pray.
Because you have allowed them to make decisions.
Correct. And even for the pastors, sometimes if you want to go and sleep in Mombasa, at the beach, looking at the skies, you are allowed to do that.
And renew yourself and refresh yourself.
Correct. And that's why we are saying if you don't do those things, you are actually going to be always doing the same thing.
And the leadership will not transform anymore.
It will not transform. But if you go and sit down, that's a leverage. If you go to Mombasa and you're just seeing the cashew nuts, you are seeing the ocean.
And hearing the noise of the waters.
Correct. You see what will happen is that you'll be transformed even in your mind. When you are coming here and speak the word of God, you will
energized.
Yes, you are energized. And these are the things that we are saying. Empower other people who can be able to turn the wheel of the organization. You don't really necessarily need to be there for the wheel of the organization to turn. If it turns because you are there, dangerous. So
and the last one is passion?
Is the passion, and that is actually the key thing. It is the epic of every other thing. If you are not passionate about what you do, you will never transform anything. And that's why we gave an example about a lady who was just a mere teacher. But she transformed the world.
And left a very great impact in
Correct, the legacy. Most of our leaders, most of our leaders are looking for legacy. And they look for legacy from the wrong things.
In the wrong way.
You see, someone like Mother Teresa, she did not build roads. She did not build hospitals.
And she was not even looking for legacy.
No,
she
wasn't.
Just doing what she's supposed
to do. But when you are passionate about what you do, the legacy is no discussion. It will always be there. Look at someone like Wangari Maathai. She is actually being talked about even today. With even the generation. Throughout the world. Even getting a Nobel Peace Prize. These are the things that we are saying. We must be passionate. If we are to transform, we must be passionate about what we do. And I say the leaders, especially in our country today, they are not passionate about what they do. They are only in positions for their stomachs.
Okay. So now we have talked about the hands-on and hands-off styles of leadership in relationship to transformational leadership. Because if we are not leading for transformation, why are we leading in the first place? Now, we just want to flip it now and come to evaluation. evaluation. And because now we want to see transformation in the leadership. And the kind of leadership that we are seeing a lot of loss of public finances, public money, and a lot of integrity issues, money getting lost everywhere. I'm wondering what you think about the leadership that we have in our country. Why are we losing so much, yet we have got people in offices, people that have benefits and allowances, and they have given cars and budgets and the police and everything, and yet money is getting lost. Why is it that money will get lost so rampantly? What is happening and there are people in office? Is it because they are hands-on, or they are hands-off, or they have no vision, or they have no mission, or there is nothing to do with transformational leadership? Help us, Pastor David.
I would say that it is a combination of many things. If you look at the 5 points that we have talked about, most of the leaders are actually failing in some of the elements very badly. And you find that, first of all, anybody who is doing the wrong thing and they continue doing it and we entertain it and we don't say no to some of these things is because they don't have value that guides them.
Values.
There is no value that guides them. And that's why sometimes you may find somebody just goes and his department, let's say for example in a certain ministry, you find that money has been lost. And you find somebody starting now to, say, yes, money was lost, but I was not involved. But we have put you in the leadership.
Yes.
The question is, where is your character? Where is your integrity? What is it that drives you? Because you must be someone who is saying, there are things I cannot start for.
You see, Pastor David, you need to answer me and answer my dear viewer here. Somebody, and let's talk about the cabinet secretaries. They are ministers, they are cabinet ministers in charge of ministries. Many of them, some of them that are in office, even today as I'm speaking here, these guys have, their ministries have lost money. It has come to public domain, and they are still sitting in those same offices, and they are innocent. Where were they when money was lost?
That is the thing. The thing is, and that's where...
Is it because they went to sleep?
No.
Is it because they don't care?
No, they are very much awake.
Is it because they don't know what is happening? Is it because they are not involved? What is happening? And we just see a few people being dragged to the courts, and the whole matter is lost within a short time.
By the way, these people were very much awake.
Yes.
When the money was getting lost, most of them, they were totally involved about it. But we said one thing in one of our program here.
Yes, please.
We said that most of these people are good in terms of managing us by the rule of by the law instead of the rule of law. So what happens is
leading by
that is
rule by the law.
By the law.
You rule by the law.
By the law.
Yeah. So when you rule by the law, what happens?
What happens is they will go and look at our court systems.
Yes.
And they realize that this clause is silent about this.
Yeah.
What they will do...
Within the laws of Kenya.
Yeah, within the laws of Kenya.
Yeah.
So what they will do, they will get to the thing that they are doing. They will hide their names. They will use what we call proxies. It is them, but in another person. The law does not recognize the proxy.
Yeah.
It is actually recognizing you. So what will happen is the proxy who has been used is the person who will be called to the court.
Yeah.
The other person you are working for is they are as clean as cotton, white cotton.
Wow.
Because their name is not mentioned anywhere. In terms of the transactions, what they will do, they will say, don't send me money through M-Pesa. Don't put it in my bank account.
Yes.
What you do is you bring cash.
Yes.
And that's where you hide and you hear about the money being carried with suitcases.
The sacks under their bed.
And the sacks and all those things. Because you cannot be able to trace and track that money. You cannot relate that money to me. So what they are doing, they are lacking in character.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a good character, what will happen is that you will keep on doing the wrong things. These guys, by the way, they know everything about what is happening in their department.
Yes.
There is no one CS who can really say that I didn't know. I am not the one who signs.
Actually, I think the job of a CS squarely demands that you be a hands-on person.
It has
you have to get report of every single thing.
Correct.
There's
Correct.
no payment that can be made without you knowing.
Correct.
Is that true?
That is the thing.
Okay.
And you see, at the end of the day,
yeah,
you have the right to question every system.
Yes, because you are the person in charge.
Yeah, you are the person in charge. The system is already there.
Yeah.
And if, for example, you are not able to interrogate the system, then it puts some question marks in terms of the people and the leaders who have been put in those positions.
Okay. Thank you so much. We take a short break. We will be right back, and we want to interrogate our leadership. And this time round, we'll open the bracket even to the churches and to the institutions. Of course, you remember the issue of Masai Mara. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Correct.
Welcome back, my dear viewer. We press on with our discussion today. And before we took our break, we had arrived at a very key place, because our aim is to impact on the kind of leadership that we have, whether it is in the government, private institutions, or even churches. And Pastor David, there is one thing that is puzzling me, because somebody is in office and he is the person in charge of everything, and a mess happens in that office, maybe loss of money, and that person is declared innocent. What is happening to this leader? Is it because he's lazy? Is it hands off? What really causes this leader to allow these things to, or not to notice whether things are happening like this? And is it really laziness, or it is closing an eye for somebody you want to pass with something? What is happening, Pastor David? And let's look critically even at the leadership that we have in this country.
One, I think in terms of quite a number of leaders,
yes,
there are some leaders actually who wants to improve their status by doing the wrong thing. You see, for example, you find that today you find someone driving a Mercedes, and you have not actually even driven such kind of a car. And now what you want to do is, at least because of your status, you want also to drive something like what I am driving. But the question is, do you know what I have done for me to drive a Mercedes?
Yes.
There be so many things that I did, many businesses, which are legal businesses, which I did for me to be able to drive this car.
Yeah.
So what happens is, there is a bit of people trying to compare themselves with other people. So they find that some of the people that we are with, especially our peers, they are doing like better than me. So what is it that they will do? It is actually they are going to come and try to do whatever they can do to manipulate the system, so that they can be able to access monies which is not the right money.
Yes.
And therefore some of the things, we can even call it greed. We can call it whichever name that we want to call it. But some of the things is because we have allowed the seed of corruption, that people want just to leap where they have not
sowed.
Yes. And that is exactly what is happening. There is quick money to be made.
Yeah.
And you find, like, sometimes you hear even about the CDF.
Yeah.
Some of the CDF money is not being used in the right way. And that's where you have seen some of our leaders even being taken to court just to answer to some queries. Why is that this money have not been used in the right way? Some of them, they are really involved. They are actually hands-on. They are involved in every
They are hands-on.
They are hands-on.
But it is greed.
And they know exactly what they are looking for. So it is actually greed. Not that the system doesn't actually say what should be done, but it is actually the greed that is making many of the people not to allow the system to work.
Now, whether hands-on or hands-off, let's now focus on transformation and to move people forward, to improve economies, to grow institutions. It requires transformational leadership. And here we are now, and we can see what is happening in our country. Will we, with the things that are happening, will we ever see transformation?
You have asked a very, very good question.
Yes.
And I will base it on what we call the 5 Maslow laws of hierarchy of needs.
Jesus Christ. Okay, bring it on.
These 5.
Yes.
There is actually what we say, there is the first ones.
Yeah.
Which is the safety, which is the food,
yes,
clothing, and all that.
Basic.
The basic.
Yes.
They are the basic things that if you want to transform the people, there is the way that you touch on their basic things. And the question is, for example, let me ask a question. If, for example, you ask someone who has not eaten supper for 2 days, and you tell them, I am developing a road for you, which one takes priority? Food for them or the roads?
Oh, it's food.
It is food.
More basic.
More basic. And
I eat so that I may live.
Correct.
Yes.
So whether you actually do many other great things for them, at that particular time, they do not matter.
Yes.
What matters is how I feed.
So transformation begins there?
Transformation will not actually begin with big roads.
Really?
It is actually going to try to start with transforming the lives of the people that you follow. You get to understand what drives them.
Yeah.
Some of the people, they are driven by hunger. So if you are to transform their life, you must develop something that is sustainable in terms of they are able to get the next meal.
Yes.
And this is where the leaders are not really able to transform their people. Because they think transforming their people is actually by doing big projects. Some of the projects that we talk about even in this country, there are some of the people who will never even enjoy anything.
You know, let me tell you, thank you because you have touched that one. Especially in the county where I come from, and I don't want to say which county I come from, but throughout the county that I come from, I see almost in every market that immediately the governors came into office, they constructed markets, market houses.
Yes.
And every market I've gone, those market houses are not occupied by the hawkers or the vendors or the sellers. They are standing there, they are empty, and the people are selling by the roadside. Yeah? So this one seems to agree with what you are saying.
Yes.
That it's not those market houses you are building.
Correct.
It is how you are enabling people
to
feed.
That is true.
Please carry on.
And that is exactly where we are saying, for you to be a transformational leader,
yes,
you must get to understand what drives people.
Yeah.
Because we are doing so many wastage things, projects which are wastes, like what you are talking about.
Yeah.
We have spent a lot of money.
Throughout that county where I come from,
correct,
none of those markets is being used.
That is the thing.
The money was put there and nobody's using it.
Because the thing is, you actually sat somewhere at the top.
Yeah.
And you decided this is what the people want. And you did not go to the ground to understand what is it that can change their life.
The true needs of the people.
What they need is actually, some of them, they need something we call water to be able to grow food for themselves.
Yes.
So if you went and you dug a borehole, it would really impact on community in a big way. They can be able to grow, even if not a lot to sell. They can be able to grow vegetables for themselves to have a square meal at the evening. If actually you look at the small things that they are able to do, and you start empowering them from those small things they are able to do. But you see, many times we do projects just for the legacy we talked about. And this legacy is what kills people, even the leaders, because you did not transform. the life of anybody.
So in the case where we are talking about in that county, market houses that have been constructed in every market is because if the leader wanted to do something to be seen that is working.
Correct.
But he did not understand the situation of the people. Yeah, and the real needs of the people.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why we are saying transformational leaders,
yeah,
they must understand what is it that people require.
Not doing big projects.
Not doing big projects. Because those big projects, I will show you exactly where they come from the 5 laws of martial law. We said about it.
Yes.
You see, this one, until they are the first 3. The first 3 are very basic.
Yes.
And in Kenya, you'll actually see where we are.
Food, shelter.
There is a food, shelter, there is safety.
And
the safety is the second one.
Yes.
Where people feel they are safe.
Yes.
They can go to a hospital and get treated when they are feeling unwell.
They are safe.
Look at now our country. You go to a dispensary, there are no medicines.
Yes.
So what is it that we are really transforming our people about when they can actually not get even medicine? When people are unwell, they go and they are told, go and buy some medicine.
And they have no money even to buy that
medication. Have no medicine. They have no money to buy.
So it is clear that those people will never be treated that sickness.
Correct.
And if it's an infection, it will kill them.
That is the thing. So how are you transforming your people?
Wow.
And this is the kind of the leadership
and you
that
see, I also see that there's a lot of constructions of hospitals.
Yes.
What are they constructing them for if they have no medication?
I can tell you, the thing is, we have enough places where you can actually ensure, if, for example, you go out here, you'll find that there are some hospitals here, even the government hospitals. Yes, they are here.
Yeah.
Just go and put medicine in those hospitals.
If you want to transform people.
If you want to transform people, let them feel safe. Let them feel that at least I can go somewhere, even when I don't have money, and I can be treated.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot be ruling or you cannot be managing sickly people.
Yeah.
You need your people to feel that they are safe.
Yeah.
And these are some of the basic things that we can do. So if we are talking about transformation as leaders, we must get to be able, one, it is provide food, shelter for them.
Yes.
And not shelter like the one we are talking about, Kibera, Mathare, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereby at least you need to improve their livelihood.
Yeah.
In the sense that you can actually do something better for the people. Because if you are doing all these big projects, what about if you really went to like Kibera and do something at
small
least
for the community? Affordable. Because I hear the flats were built, people were given, then they rented them out and they went back to the slums.
Yes, you know why?
Yeah.
Do you know why they will go to the slums again?
Yes.
What do they need? And that's where we started by. They need food.
They need food.
So they would
not
rather
a big house.
Not a big house. So they would rather actually.
So if leadership is going to be transformational, you really must understand the needs of the people.
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
That's what we have said. You must understand. So you see, you are giving them a house. They go and rent it. Why do they rent it? It's because they need money to eat for tomorrow.
Yes.
Because they can be in that big house, but there is really nothing for them
to eat.
And that is where now we are saying, until you make these people to be enabled,
wow,
you are still not talking about transformation.
And those are challenges of transformational leadership.
Yes.
And many people are talking about, there's a lot of talk of transformational leadership. Do they really understand what it entails?
Many people do not understand. Actually, if you ask them what is transformation, because let me say, we should be seeing the lives of the people changing.
Yes.
When you find that, like now, go and ask Kenyans. I know we have a program. We can ask Kenyans.
Yes, we have a program we call Your Stand on the Station.
So go and ask Kenyans where they are and what they feel at this particular time.
Yeah.
You'll find them telling you that this time they are actually struggling even more than they used to struggle. Is it because there is nothing that can be done? Is it because that they cannot be able to produce? And that is what we said. We need everybody to get to production level.
Yeah.
And when everybody is taken to production level, that is the only time you can talk about transformation.
Yes.
In the sense that if you want your economy to be able to thrive, you must make sure right from the bottom the economy. People are doing something which is bringing about the economic benefits to them. Because there are small things that people do, and that's creativity we were talking about. Small things they do, but it has a big impact in their life. If you do not actually relate with these people, you will leave out the small things they are doing, and you will not help them.
So, Pastor David, you are saying that if leaders that we have, they have been allocated money, maybe in the counties or in the ministries, unless they interact with the people and understand what is happening with the people, they will never transform those societies.
They will not.
No matter what they do.
They will not.
No matter what they do.
They will not. Because if you have not been able to meet the very basics of the people, which transformation are we talking about?
So are you clearly saying that transformation begins with helping people to economically, to empower them economically?
Correct. Because even for all of us, when we say that we have been transformed, when we say that something has transformed us, it has taken us to the other level.
Yes.
So how many people are still in the basic level? And we are talking about transforming our people.
Yes.
We are not. The thing is, we must work together in understanding what is it that a locality can be able to do.
Yes.
Because, look, I went to another place and I was amazed.
Yes.
That place, it is actually Jabini. I went there and I was amazed to see even cows refusing to take cabbage. Because cabbage is in plenty there.
No, where I come from, they take cabbage.
Now, in Jabini,
yes,
they have refused. They refused to take cabbage because they have eaten cabbage. It is too much. If you go on the road, there are cabbage which are thrown there. If you go everywhere, there are cabbage which are thrown there. To the extent, even the cows, they do not want the taste of the cabbage. Yet, yes, can I tell you,
yes,
how many kilometers is from here to Jabini? It is not more than 50.
Yes.
From here, from Nairobi to Jabini, it's not more than 50. Yet you find that there are some community, there are some families which are not having a square meal. Yet you are able, here in the city, yet you are able to go to Jabini and take the vegetables which is in plenty. You leave these people with small monies to be able to buy a few things, and you come and you feed the other people at a subsidized price of the food commodities. That is how you transform the people.
Yes.
You are able at least to look at one community is good in this.
Yes.
The other community lacks in this. And that's where they used to talk about the barter trade. That you are able actually to shift things from one community to the other. And when you do that, you empower people. You transform the lives of the people.
I believe you are hearing what is being said in this program, because leaders exist so that they may transform people. But if leaders come to office and they fail to be in touch with the people, there's no transformation they will be able to do on those people. They will do big things. They will come and tell us they have built hospitals that have no medication, dispensaries that are empty, and they will say they are transforming people, and in reality, they are doing things for themselves to feel good. David is continuing with the Maslow's, the Maslow, hierarchy of needs. When we return, we pick it up from there, and we are all delving on whether the leadership that we have is transforming the communities that and the peoples of this country. Don't go very far. We'll be right back. Wow, welcome back, my dear viewer. I'm glad you're watching, and thank you for those who are sending texts and SMSs to tell us your views on the topic of discussion today. And Pastor David, some of the truths you have said here are just amazing, and people are blessed by what you are saying. Press on with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and bring us to why are leaders doing things that cannot help the people, and they go bragging around that I have built this, I have done this, and yet people don't even feel them. Please press on.
Correct. We have,
and it's all about transformation.
Yes, it is.
It's all about transformation.
It is.
Thank you.
The other thing is that you cannot transform people who are not feeling the love and who are not feeling that they belong.
Okay.
That is the number 3 in terms of the hierarchy.
Yes.
There is people having the confidence that the person who is leading us, the people who are actually guiding us, they love us. They have us in their hearts. And we belong.
They think about us.
Yes.
And they care.
Right now, you find that, and that is where the greatest weakness is there. Most of the leaders, we don't feel even they love us. We don't even feel we belong. To the extent it gets to a point whereby they forget about our feelings, about things. For example, you find that some leaders, they can actually go and just say whatever they want to say, even to people.
Yeah.
They can actually talk about a community just the way they want to talk about a community. They will actually do things not because they love you. They will do it because of the love of themselves. They want you to think that they love you. And if, for example, the people feel that they are not loved, in the first place, they cannot move forward. Because in the first place, they will always be feeling that this leader, though they talk about we are together, we are not together.
They don't care about us.
And you remember, there is even a time they brought, some of the leaders, they brought something, they say, some of the leaders, they are eating meat, whether the others are just swallowing saliva.
They are swallowing saliva.
You see, some of these statements, what they are telling you
Yes.
is that they love themselves,
Yes.
but they don't love us. And if you do not put into your people that mentality, they get to know that we are loved. Because you cannot really give all your authority to someone you know they are not loyal to you. So you find, for example, if you want to transform the people,
yes,
you must change their mind in the positive dimension.
Yes.
They must feel they belong. If, for example, this country is going to move this direction,
yes,
people must feel it is because they love us. They want to see our life change. They want to do things that is going to transform us.
Yeah.
And therefore they belong somewhere. The lack of belonging is actually something which makes leaders not to transform the people. Because you must make the people feel, yes, I desire to be here. I know these people, they will protect me.
Yeah.
How many people feel that their leaders don't protect them?
Yeah.
In fact, instead of protecting them, they actually go and make sure they do even what is not right.
Yeah.
They go, the CDF money is given.
Yeah.
What do? They put their brothers, they put their sisters, even in the counties, you have seen them in courts.
Yeah.
They put their brothers, their relatives. Do they love the people?
They don't love the people.
So how do they transform those people?
They can't transform those people.
So that is where we are saying, even if they keep on talking about transformation, there is no way they will be able to transform these people. Because in the first place, they don't love them.
Okay, so leaders appear to be doing some things for to meet a certain need. Are we still on Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Yes. So do you think this Maslow's thing is also causing some leaders to do some things that are completely and totally irrelevant to the masses?
Yeah, that's what we are saying. Sometimes, you know, the thing is, what they have done, and some of our leaders are actually, even what they are doing, they know what they are doing. By the way, most of the leaders here, they are bright.
They know what they are doing.
They are bright.
Yes.
So they understand what they are doing. But I will say that without values and without that love, what will happen is that people, if you don't love your country, you love yourself, and you want just to do things for yourself in the name of the people.
Yeah.
What will happen is that you are going to do ridiculous things. You go, you bring some projects, and, you know, like where we were saying the rule by law, the law says, if, for example, the procurement law, it says that you must bring 3 quotations. Isn't it? So what do I do? Like if I am a leader, and I know if I don't bring 3 quotations. They are not applying
the rule of law.
Yes.
They are applying rule by law.
Yeah, so what they will do is that they will come. They say, David, bring 3 companies. I will bring a company by the name David X. Then I will bring the company using my child. I will bring a company using a relative. And I have brought how many quotations?
3.
3.
By the law.
By the law.
Yeah.
So what will happen is I will be able to be measured on 3 quotations, which it is me who has generated.
Yes.
Not because I love people. Other people are struggling, even with tenders.
Yes.
But you know what? When they come to assessing, you will be given a award. And people will say this was the lowest.
Yeah.
And who was the lowest? It was actually the family thing quotation which was going loud.
Yes.
So that kind of a leader.
These evils are being perpetrated in this country.
Why? Do you know why they are doing those kind of things? It is because the number 3 hierarchy, the one for love and belonging. They do not love people. And they don't care whether people that they are managing belong or they don't belong.
Yeah.
They will actually want to put monies into their pockets and not into the people who they are leading.
Yes.
And this is the dangers that we fight in. And that's why we are asking, how comes our people are not being transformed? It is because people are selfish. They care about themselves and not about the people that they lead. And therefore we are saying, if you want to be a transformational leader, you must think beyond your own circles.
Yeah.
And you must get to the society and being able to give rights to the other people to be able to enjoy and participate in what is happening, even in those communities, in the areas that we are in.
Yes.
These are the things that lack.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Wow. Transformational leadership. It's about transforming. It's about transforming. I asked you a question before we wound up the second session, and it was, do you think institutions will ever be transformed with this kind of approach?
With this approach, one, transformation takes place if people are following the things that we have put there.
Yes.
The basics.
Yes.
That we have put there.
The 5 things that you say.
The 5 things. The other ones which we are talking about now, the main thing is the self-esteem and self-actualization. When you say actually the people have been transformed, they must get to the level number 4 and level number 5, which is the self-esteem.
Oh. Okay.
These are the ones, by the way. These are the ones, the 3 one we are talking about.
Yes.
Even for the leadership, we should not even be talking about. We should ensure that our community has enough food to eat.
Leave alone even their self-esteem.
Yes.
And the self-actualization.
Let me tell you, those are now the things. These are the basic things.
Basic
the 3 ones are actually major. If you do not get them right, you will not take people to a level of self-esteem, and you will not take people to self-actualization.
So actually transformation, if you transform people, you move them from the lowest step of the ladder,
yes,
and you help them to climb up in life.
Correct.
Until they can also feel self-esteem.
Yeah, self-esteem. That is where people start getting the confidence.
On to self-actualization.
Yes. It is actually giving me, with what now the leaders are doing, and that's the question you have asked, what they are doing, with the people still remaining at that low levels, they will not be able to change and transform the people.
Wow.
However much they try, they will only be living what we call white elephant projects, which are there, like what you said.
They have spent a lot of money.
They have spent a lot of money,
but
they did not transform the people.
But Pastor David, are there many in this country, those kind of projects? White elephants?
I'm telling you, there are so many. Let's say, for example, what is happening in Galana, because many people hear about it. We had a very big project where we wanted to produce a lot of food for Kenyans. How many bags of maize are coming from Galana? You see, what we are saying is there are so many projects that are, there are so many projects that actually are being done. But look at the impact.
And they are swallowing billions.
Correct. Look at the SGR. It's a good project, yes. But let me ask, what is it that it is producing?
For the country.
For the people.
To benefit the people.
How many, like most of us, even we have never used the SGR to go to Mombasa.
Yeah.
So I only hear the big elephant SGR. I've never even tried. So how many Kenyans have never used the SGR?
Yeah.
So when you talk about the SGR, you are actually talking about big projects. But if you can be able to go and touch the basic things of the people, the needs for the people,
yes,
that is where transformation comes in. I remember, like in our village where I come from, again, also I don't want to say where, there are 3 things which were done. Number 1, they paid the school fees for all the children who passed the exam last year. You know what that means? It changes and transforms the society.
And families have been transformed.
And families have been transformed. The people who would not have gone to school are able to go to school because of that one good deed. That is number 1, which where I come from, they have done. The number 2, they went and they bought every farmer a cow.
Where you come from?
I'm telling you.
I want to move to your county.
Yes. No, I'm telling you.
I want to move to your county.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
Many farmers, they were bought a cow.
A cow.
That cow is able, first of all, it is able to provide the families with milk. So they are not buying. Yes, they are not buying the milk now from other people.
So in your country, there will never be. In your county, there will never be a malnutrition.
That is
because
the thing. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what is happening again? They are also able to sell. What remains, they consume, and what remains, they sell. So isn't that a transformation that has been done?
That's transformation.
The other thing they have done is actually what we call the food safety. What they have done is that they have actually given farmers some seeds, even for sweet potatoes.
Yes.
All these kind of things, they are transforming the community. And that's why we are saying some of the leaders, they are struggling on things that will not make a lot of value. But you go down, like to where I come from, people will tell you our life is actually moving forward.
Wow, Pastor David, we are pressed for time, but definitely leaders, you are hearing what the people need is that which is able to meet their basic needs. If you do big things for them, big projects that are not able to put food on the table, then it will never transform that society. And let me touch this because I'm giving you a chance to address the viewers on the matters that we have discussed today. Some of the money we say is going to transform people and to transform families. In many counties in this country, that money is coming late. It is completely unpredictable. Children are being chased away from school. They stay at home for months on end, waiting for the bursary check to come out. Finally, when you give it, you find the child has been home for 6 months and the check is coming late. For people that are in leadership, we are there to transform the lives of the people. Let us not do things in a funny way that cannot touch and change the people that we came into the leadership to touch their lives. To wind up all this issue on styles of leadership and transformation, I will give you 1 minute to look at the camera and address the leaders and also address the masses as we come to a conclusion.
So in conclusion, I would say that we have a responsibilities as leaders to improve the livelihood of our people.
Yes.
You cannot do it without understanding what are the needs of every particular person.
Yes.
So don't just do projects for us. Get to understand what we need. And when you bring what we need, it is going to take us to another level. So many leaders are not able to transform the people that they are leading because they do not listen to the people. They do things only to leave a legacy. If you want a good legacy, ensure that your people has been empowered. And for the society at large, it is your light. And we must demand out of our leaders that they do the things that are going to improve our livelihoods. It is not just good that many of the leaders come to us just to give us one meal during the time they are looking for votes. We must keep them on a constant check that they must provide a change, a transformational change in our lives by doing the right things, coming and helping us in the things that can make a sense in our lives.
Wow, transformational leadership. God help us. And now, you know, every person who bears the name of a leader, whether political leadership or whichever other leadership, you are there to transform people. If you do not transform the people, the institutions you are leading, the churches you are leading, the organizations you are leading, your leadership will outrightly be a failure, and the salary and the resources that were used to pay you will have been wasted, because all the time that you spend in that office in your tenure will not change any life, and you will have wasted every money that was paid to you. So leaders, let's take up the challenge, the leadership challenge, and do the right thing. And the right thing is to transform the people. Thank you so much, viewers, for being together with us. We must come to the end of this discussion here. And until next time, God keep you and God bless you. Bye-bye.